Elara didn't look at the ocean for its beauty, she looked at it for its rhythm. In her small seaside workshop, surrounded by the scent of salt and cedar, she held a single brass gear between her fingers. She knew exactly what she wanted, a machine that could capture the wind and turn it into song. Most people in the village called it a fool's errand, but Elara understood something they didn't. To get what you want, you first have to be brave enough to name it. She stared at the blueprint, her mind already moving the pieces into place. The first month was a symphony of failure. Every time she assembled the wings, the tension snapped, sending springs flying like metal rain across the floor. Her hands were covered in grease and small nicks, and the doubt began to seep in, like the rising tide outside her door. She wanted the result, but she was fighting the process. She realized that wanting isn't just about the prize, it's about accepting the price. She sat among the ruins of her fourth prototype, the silence of the room feeling heavier than the ocean depths. She walked to the edge of the cliffs where the wind was strongest, her auburn hair whipping wildly around her face. She had been trying to force the gears to move, rather than understanding the wind they were meant to catch. This was the wall everyone hits, the moment where most people turn back and settle for what they already have. Elara closed her eyes and stopped thinking about the how. She focused entirely on the why. She felt the wind against her skin, realizing that getting what you want requires you to stop resisting the very forces meant to carry you there. Returning to her workshop, she didn't pick up her tools immediately. Instead, she cleared everything away. She scrubbed the workbench until the grain of the wood showed through, and organized her tools with surgical precision. To invite something new into your life, you must first create the space for it to exist. She simplified her design, stripping away the ego and the unnecessary flourishes. She realized that the universe responds to clarity, not noise. With a clean space and a quiet mind, she picked up a fresh sheet of parchment and drew a single, perfect line. The work became a meditation. She didn't notice the sun setting or the stars appearing through the skylight. Her fingers moved with a grace she hadn't possessed days before, guided by a vision that was now unshakable. She wasn't just building a machine anymore. She was aligning herself with the outcome. Every screw turned was a promise kept to herself. This is the secret state of flow, where the want becomes the is. She worked through the night, the only sound being the rhythmic clicking of metal and her steady, calm breathing. As the first light of dawn touched the horizon, Elara held the golden bird in her palms. It was light, almost weightless. She stepped out onto the damp grass, the cool morning air filling her lungs. With a heart full of absolute certainty, she released the latch. For a heartbeat, there was silence. Then, with a series of melodic clicks, the wings unfurled. The machine didn't just move, it sang, a hauntingly beautiful melody that harmonized perfectly with the sound of the waves. She had achieved the impossible, because she had become the person capable of doing it. The bird soared, circling her in wide, elegant arcs, leaving a faint trail of golden light in the morning mist. Elara watched it, a soft smile finally breaking across her face. She realized that getting whatever you want isn't about luck or magic. It's about the brutal honesty of knowing your desire, the discipline of preparation, and the courage to act even when the path is obscured. The bird was the proof, but the change within her was the true prize. She stood tall, no longer a seeker, but a creator who knew the language of the world. Your dreams are not as far away as they seem. They are simply waiting for you to match their frequency. Like Elara, you must define your vision, clear the clutter, and commit to the work with an unwavering heart. If you are ready to take that first step toward what you truly want, let this be your sign to start today. If this story spoke to you, make sure to like and subscribe for more journeys into the mind. Tell me in the comments, what is the one thing you are going to claim for yourself this year?